Flame 373,774 followed your channel.
Oh, ad should be wrapping up right about now. So how about we just get started? Oh, happy hump day. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Flame, if you're still here, thank you so much for that follow. Wasn't expecting that just starting off. Where am I? What am I doing? We're working on a tree. Where was I with this tree, though? Branches, it looks like. Okay, I'm here building branches. And I guess seeing if we can't make these branches into something nice and usable. See, if I turn off my no updates, I won't have to do that. Nope, that's the one I wanted. And a little 45-degree angle there. 45-degree angles are great for trees. How about we skip those and we'd have that one. do a branch up to there, and then this can branch out to a bit of a 45 a little bit. As such. This looks like it might have one that comes up here like this. Let's see. I don't like that. I'm liking these branches so far. How's this looking? From this angle, I think that's okay. And we want to make sure that we're making everything good on all angles. If anything, it's a little flat in the front. Well, we see what happens when we add leaves to everything. See if we can't fix that. Oh, because my recently used blocks. Leaf, 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 leaf. Persistent, true. Oop. Let's see. If I put this on this fence, I'm having a hard time doing. I'm gonna turn off my offset. Meta ball. How does this look? We're gonna play around with some shapes here. See if we can't find a way to, not pyramid, I think cone is the better pick. Let's see. Not really liking that at all. Station on our little super sphere here. I don't think we're gonna get any shortcuts for leaves in this one. I did look up, and I don't know. I haven't found a shortcut that like clicks well in my brain. I know a couple of people, like most builders, have their own different way of doing leaves. I just haven't found one that's good for like how I'm envisioning this tree. Pretty much, because I'm thinking like clumps of leaves, like around. Like the whole, like the leaf line should be kind of like here at the edges of these big branches. The best thing I could do is just kind of just start placing leaves and seeing what happens. And it seems there's a way I can like clean it up using some selection blocks and removing a bunch of leaves and see if we just kind of shape it down, like put it into a blob form and then just shape it down. I was saying it in my last stream, these were a lot easier, these birch ones. So much easier to deal with because all I had to do with a birch tree, it's pretty much all branch anyways, and then just like a smattering of leaves on them. So all I had to do was just like cover the edges here. But with an oak, it's just this big fluffy thing. Like this was one thing, but like recreating this on a larger scale is kind of a pain. Kind of a pain. Let's see. Make you a bit smaller, but increase this. Give me a bit more. Keep existing. I want to make sure not to delete anything. Okay, I think I'm starting to see some shape in this. Nope, wrong one. Is it this one? Kinda. Okay, let's see. These are metaball. And right now it's starting to look kind of like a jungle tree, so we're gonna want to bring some more branches in. We do have some references of oak trees that I've grabbed. Interesting though, like it does kind of look like this. This isn't the original reference I was using, but I'm kind of there. That's not too far off the mark. So maybe it is okay like this, where we see most of this, and it's not like just a big bush. Maybe this is working. Because some of the others I've seen are kind of like this one, and I don't know which way we want to go. Well, I guess yeah, you see a lot of this base trunk that we're seeing right here. You can kind of see all this trunk here, and all of the leaves are kind of pulled up here. Oh wow, am I secretly really good at this? Bro, I'm so good at hiding it that I even surprised myself. That's not bad. I think I kind of want another patch of leaves covering here, though. I think that's okay like this. And I feel like something should be down here, but maybe not. Like, let's see. If I can make something I'm happy with shape-wise, then, you know, we'll leave with it. Without that, with that, without that, with that. What do we got? Obviously, it's just a big blob right now. We're going to get in, we're going to color some things up, and we're also going to clean up a lot of it. Let's bring that down a bit. I just need to fatten this over here because it's a little too flat right there. All right, and something I do want to do is the magic select. We're going to select all of our leaves right here. And then what we do is we do a subtract and surface only, and boom. Now we only have the inside. And from there, I can do a noise painter. I can do oak leaves, 50-50, and I can do air. I'm just going to bring the air down to, like, say, 15%. And let me see. I feel like Veroni edges will kind of give us what we're looking for, or even Whirly. Because white and splatter is a bit too noisy. Let's try this. We're going to paint here. No? Are you... Bring our magic select back. Clear selection. Replace. No. Add. Noise painter. Didn't really do it. I guess we increase the amount. That's starting. And then we just start shaving things away. Although I do think on the inside we want to change a little bit. So let's... Well, I want more air on the inside. So we'll go ahead and do this subtract trick again. Get us just the inside. Noise painter. Why isn't it doing more on the inside? You would think it would do more on the inside. Am I missing something? Is that it? It's because I had surface selected, I think. I think that's it. Yeah, there it is. I had surface selected. I missed that. Alright, come down here. So we're currently just messing with oak leaves. So around here near the branches, we can kind of brighten some things up as well. Let's see. Right now it's still too blobby. So I think we need to go in, replace some leaves with some of the fence posts just to give us something. And then also clear out more in here. It doesn't need to be hollow, like that's not what I'm going for, but it is a little much, and I think it'll help if we start some of the coloring. So spruce is going to be what's inside closest to these fence posts. I'm not good with mask yet, so I don't have a better way of doing this than just by hand, but that's okay. I think once we start getting color in here that can start popping out, that'll help out a lot. Actually, you know what I might be able to do is the real dark. We're doing spruce leaves for our dark, birch leaves for our next dark. I think that should probably be closer to 25%. And then oak and dark oak, and then it's azalea for the real bright stuff. See, if I kept the light from here, what we can do is we're going to go ahead and do a magic select. We're going to clear this selection. Surface only, but this time we're going to just do an add, and we're just going to select the surface. Operations and auto shade. No, custom. Oof, oof, oof. Birch leaves. Wait, that's not right. Oak leaves. Dark oak leaves and azalea, and for the really bright areas, flowering azalea. I think I had this backwards again. I tend to always have it backwards. Boy, that is too much. I'm going to need to take the flowering azalea way down. So we're going to take that way down. Let's make you like 2.5%. The azalea is kind of fine, but what is that? 6, 7, 8, 85, and the rest. It should just honestly just leave the rest alone. Hey, look at that. That's not bad. I think that's helped a bit. Now what we can do is we can back here. How can I make this less of a big blob? I know one of the big tricks is to, you know, make more air on the inside. Maybe that's one of the big things we have to do, is just get in here with a lot of these leaves and really just make a lot of, make it kind of hollow. See, if I do a magic select, and we're gonna go ahead and just do solid when we're gonna clear this. Take our spruce leaves and change to air. And we take our birch leaves and change to air. That's functionally just made this hollow. How's that look in here? Dang. It's definitely airier than it was. But a lot of the outside, because of this outside, is still like super clumped. So that's not quite there. Let's do block, clear. Surface only for this, obviously. Okay. Noise painter. Oak leaves. Dark oak leaves. I'm going to be overriding a lot of the auto shade we just used, but let's see. I didn't make nearly as much air as I thought I would. Guess we have to do it by hand. It's all right. Then I do want to do, let's get back in our dark oaks. Sure. Another thing we can do is have some of this peek out as trapdoors down here, or even as slabs. I really wouldn't break it because of how thick it all is anyways. Make that one a trapdoor. That way we can kind of, like, we can look up and see the roots. That makes sense to me a lot. Not the roots, not the roots. I'm a goofy. The branches. Whoops. Oh well. You there. You there. Kind of just doing this randomly. One of the things I like about trees, though, it's really hard to just do them objectively wrong. I still want it to look good, obviously, but I'm not too concerned with getting it perfect. Like, those little accidents tend to just add a lot of life to it. Oh, that's something I could add. Let's... Oh. That's why. Oak. If I do azalea, flowering azalea, but that's going to be way down because that's my auto shade. That's why that messed up. Air. We're getting there. That was a lot more aggressive with the leaves. So let's see if I do. Go ahead and grab this. Then we do our noise painter. Milton, how are you doing, bud? Oh, that did a lot right there. Now we do our auto shade. Is I did this at a 2.5-ish. This was at 30, and this was about 25. Tree looks gorgeous. Well, thank you. Yeah, I think it's getting there. We're slowly making progress on it. You see, we've got like the lightest parts of the flowering azalea. I don't know if I'm there yet. I don't know if I like that. I might change that to a different leaf type. But right now, that's what we're doing. From a distance, it's just like a little speckle of pink. But of course, the azalea for the light, and then gets darker into the spruce and the birch leaves. I think from down here, it's starting to look pretty good. We're still kind of blobby, and I'm having to play, just kind of figuring out how to not have that happen. One of the things that's helping out is I started adding all of this, like these slabs and trapdoors, to be underneath the roots. We went inside, and I pretty much hollowed out all of this. A lot of this is hollow, and I think that worked out. Love the shape? Yeah. It's just making it where, like, it's kind of big block. You can kind of still see the original shapes, and it's about getting rid of that and shaving that away a bit. And it might honestly come down to just something as simple as turning on infinite reach and adding and removing shapes where we need it. Like, it's a bit flattish over here, but I almost originally I was going to move the leaf line almost all the way into here, but then I took a second look at our reference images. You can see that really isn't the case. A lot of the leaves do stay towards the edges of the trees, which makes sense. Like, why would you need leaves all down here? So I'm happy that we kind of naturally got there. All you've missed so far was I took the shape tool, and where is it? My shape tool. I made a super sphere. We kind of just played around with different widths and ranges, and I just started dropping leaves on it. I just started placing them, and now we're slowly cleaning everything up, and that's pretty much all that's happening. So I may be getting it off of the edge of these a little bit. Because that's like a main branch, so I guess why would the leaves be on that? That's part of the reason it looks a little on the blobby side. We should be seeing that branch, not all the leaves there. Infinite reach is so good, so I can like be back here and like see what we're shaving away. It helps that I have the dynamic crosshair on, so I can really see exactly what I'm pointing at when I'm pointing at something. And then I can also come in and we can just like add leaves here and there as long as we're careful. Yeah, I think getting it off the bottom of these is like cleaning up the bottom down here is helping a lot. Making it look more like an actual tree. And we'll clean up all of this. We're going to grab these spruce leaves because I'm going to replace some of these down here. Actually, so cool little trick I've learned. Here, let's remove these right quick before I get into this. Very, very cool trick I learned. If we wanted to darken all of the bottom kind of quickly, without having to hand paint everything like this, something we can do is we're going to go ahead, we're going to erase our current selection. We're going to go back to our magic select. Excuse me. I'm going to turn off the surface only. And you see right now we have like all of this. Actually, we're going to do by solid. Now we have all of this. We don't want that. So what if we turn off down? Well, look at this. And what if we turn off up? Look at this. Now we're horizontal all the way across for all of these different layers. And we just keep selecting all of these different layers here for each of the little shapes. Now, this is a lot easier if it's one big thing. It's like if I wanted to do, look, you see I can do one layer at a time for this branch here. But still, this gets us this very clean way of selecting exactly what we want to select here. And now what I can do is we're going to Control R. We're going to take these oak leaves, turn them into spruce. Actually, I think what we might do is oak leaves turn into birch because they were just on the outside. Such Axiom. Yeah, learned that one from Calvin. Very, very, very helpful. We'll take the dark oak into birch as well. And then these few azalea that I have. Yeah. And all we need to do is here on the outside part where we would have missed a bit, or we grabbed a little too much, just lighten that a little bit. Calvin, yeah, give me 1 second. I'm going to see if this works. Nope. Yes.
Shout out to Calvin MC.
Is that the right one? Yep. So that's Calvin. He does like a lot of his content is on like Axiom tutorials, but on Twitch he's doing an entire like custom world. He's ridiculously good at creative building. Like if you're interested in like seeing the surface of like how good creative builders have gotten, he's a great place to start. Absolutely. I need to turn off no updates because I got to make sure that whatever I do now isn't going to break anything. Oh, something else I have to do. I'm going to risk. You're going to check him out? Yeah, he's definitely worth a follow. Game rule. Nope. What is it? Is it just, yeah, random tick speed? What is the default value for the tick speed? 20. No, 3. 3 by default. more of a world edit user. Yeah, I could never really get into world edit because I could never figure out the commands, but I definitely get it for those that like that's what they do. Okay, why did that happen? I'm gonna have to go in and redo these leaves. So, clear selection. Why did that happen? Because if we look at, I want the tick speed because I want to see what these particles look like, the firefly particles. I don't get firefly particles. So yeah, it's 20 ticks per second. The random tick speed I think is just set to 3. Is it because I used auto shade? Because if we see here in my shape, this was my thing. Persistent set to true. So I guess maybe because like all of those were set via, which like, it's not the, oh. Now I have really big holes in the leaves. Is that bad? Did that actually end up helping a little bit? I think that might have helped a little bit. Just some like random holes. Interesting. Did I find a new meta for making leaves? But I don't know what to do. Like, I can't replace this with just anything. Like, were any of my other trees just completely ruined? Doesn't look like. Honestly, it doesn't look too bad. All I'd have to do is come in and like, oop. No. Because I have infinite reach on. Right. Make sure at least I have something on all of these branches, because that just kind of makes sense to my brain. Darken up what's inside here, because that needs to happen. But yeah, it's super duper weird that I can't seem to just have tick speed and leaves at the same time. I'm gonna have to see, because like when I'm done building the assets, so like all of these, hold on a second. Oh, this all needs to come off of this branch anyways. Yeah, when I'm done building these assets, so all the trees and the Abbey, and I've got some carts I want to build. What I'm going to do is we're going to pick everything up. I'm going to like make schematics of them all, and I can just make them as blueprints here in Axiom. And we'll probably either move to another, I think we'll move to another world. I'll have a world where I'm placing everything that we're building within here so that I can play around in that world and see if I can't figure out what's going on. So far, it doesn't look like that broke anything. Like, it's real airy now, for sure. I think that looks a lot better than it did. So I'm going to take that win. But I definitely want to... Where do I force an oak sapling down? Axiom brought feasibility placed everywhere. Yeah, right? Like, you could always do that, but it took a lot more work to make that happen. It's an idea. Let's look at our saplings. Is there something we can do? Maybe the dark oak. How bright is the dark oak? Pretty bright. That's very bright green. But am I cooking on something here? Do we have a not as bright? Maybe the jungle isn't as bright, and the spruce is, spruce. The spruce is the same colored spruce, but what about this jungle? That's not as bright. Look at that. A little pop of green. Still looks like it's on a twig. Should we do that instead? Kind of like that. You can barely see it, but you can definitely tell there's that lighter green right there. And it's not quite as bright as the oak here. It's a little more muted. Okay, so that's the jungle. What other saplings we got? I don't think the pale oak's gonna do it for us. That was pretty bright. Acacia might be... I know, like, I've seen B-dubs has used acacia, not in... I think if I'm going to use acacia, this is going to have to be in a brighter tree. Kind of like over here. We've got these. I think the acacia blends kind of got... No, that's pretty stark. I take that back. What about the jungle? Ooh. That's super subtle, though. And let's see. This is a strange shape, I know, but what's the color? That's not bad. You can definitely tell it's there, but you don't know what it is. It's just this little dot of color, this little pixel up there. Okay. Let's see. I think this brightens things a little bit. So let's do like a line of this across, and let's see what it looks like if I'm brightening up. Oh, right in the sky. If I'm brightening that up a bit. How's that? Yeah, because like color-wise, that blends with the I wouldn't have surprised. I guess I shouldn't be surprised that from a distance, this pink and the gray are kind of blending together really nicely. But yeah, I'm happy with that. I hadn't even considered the pale oak leaves as part of the shading on this either. But I think that's going to get a bit... Maybe in like the most like further down. Let's see. Pale oak leaves. So what if we use you... This all needs to come off of my trunk. The more I've peeled it away from the trunk, the more natural this tree looks. So I think that's the play. And I had to keep reminding myself, I'm not supposed to just be good. Lord Thaddeus! Howdy, howdy. Rocking the beanie. Yep. It's totally not because, like, I kind of needed to wash my hair and haven't yet. Because I did all my floors and I have a mop bucket sit drying in my bathtub. And I was like, beanie. I promise I shower regularly. I just, I needed to make some exceptions. From a distance, does this brighten things or does it darken it? If I keep it right here, real close to where our woods are, how does that, is that brightening it or darkening? That's brightening by a lot. So we're gonna keep this with the birch. This is legit. I'm sure we've all been there. Actually, let's do spruce here. You got me just as I'm coloring. We're adding the color and shape to our tree. All of these very bright things have to go away, though. It's way too bright underneath here. I need my tree to be moody. And I think we're in a good spot. I got really, really lucky. I turned on our tick speed and nearly ruined everything. I was able to turn it all off, but now it kind of worked out. I think it worked out a lot. I think this actually looks like a real-ish tree for a first attempt. It's still splotchy and blobby, but if I really like try to fix that, I think I'm gonna have to do more harm than good. Looks awesome. Thank you. Working from home means no one but your family needs to deal with it. I get that. I know that mood. I know that mood. Hence me working from home too. All of these need to turn to this. And then we were having I was just kind of playing around because I was putting the firefly bushes down, but honestly, I think the pale oak saplings have kind of replaced that for me. It looks a little strange close, but with the from a distance and with the azalea there, I think that's blending into the azalea really nicely. Man with a mop, how have I been? I've been well. The newest expansion, the newest patch for World of Warcraft dropped. I played as much as I could yesterday until it crashed. Par for the course. And I'm excited to do more today once I'm done streaming. I really want to bridge the gap and start streaming some World of Warcraft, but that's not going to happen in the nearest future. I need to get viewers here watching me build first, and then I might, you know, entice them into watching me play Warcraft. Maybe. Gives a nice highlight. I agree. I think from, especially from like back here, it just looks like a nice highlight. And of course, we could still do like grass in the brighter areas as well. I think some of these jungle saplings ended up fitting really well too, to kind of add a pop of brightish green. And then of course spruce saplings just kind of look like spruce, but it makes it help. You get a bit more brown in there, so I guess it kind of looks like the twig is popping up. It also fills in some space, but without it being a full block. Yeah. So in these darker areas, I think I can get away with spruce saplings. Especially in here, where I want it to look kind of twigged out. A bunch of small branches and sticks should be in here. Oh, this right here needs to go away. And then, of course, we can always add a few more with candles on the edges. They're going to be a bit brighter, so watch me build Minecraft. No, Warcraft. Yeah, that's why I'm building Warcraft in Minecraft. Big brained. It's all craft at the end. Yes. I'm okay with a little bit of this still kind of popping bright here and there to make it look like the light's going through, but I know the bottom needs to be pretty dark. Let's turn our... You think my Minecraft is muted? No, it's because it's the distance I'm at. There is no sound from this amount of distance, but if I get like... See, if I'm right up here, you'll hear it again. That's normal, just because of the infinite reach. Yeah, believe me, it's messed with me as well, and I'm sitting here the one doing it. I'm like, what happened to my game sound? I think that's a pretty good place for that tree, though. Let's see. Yeah, we have some dark stuff on the inside. Do you think it needs a bit better color over here? Oops. So, Thaddeus, what are you up to today? How's your Wednesday hump day going on? Coming along? Well, all right. I think that's a good place for that tree to be. Had a one-on-one with the bots, got a bunch of huge projects. Can't hate. Fair enough. You got insulted by Quacksbot. So I think it's a pretty good day. Pros and cons of the projects. I guess it means that your boss believes you're competent. So good job on that. All right, let's do a clone this time. All I did was move them over so I don't accidentally overwrite this. All right. Do I have it all? No. No, I do not. Boop. I have all of that. Missing that. The only one who could do this stuff, but it's because the only dude does Microsoft. Ah, yeah. That was my fear. Okay, let's see. I have all this stuff at the top. I have all the way over here. Do I have these little two guys? I do. And I've got all but this. Thanks, bot. Okay, this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase this. Now that we have an idea of just how big some of these trees are going to get, let's go ahead and get this guy placed back where he needs to be. And again, we're going to clone it so I don't accidentally ruin this, just getting it into position. And what we'll probably do is like 1, maybe 2 more of these bigger trees, and maybe 1 or 2 more of the bigger birches. Well, I've got 2 big birch. I don't know how many I'll need to get like a full forest, because like it's not just the valley, it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Yeah, it's not all that bad. Because it's not just the valley. Like, we're going to have to do this. We're going to have to make a paintbrush to paint all of our trees across quite a few areas. How big is this? 1, 2, 3. I don't know why I'm doing it like that. We've got Axiom brushes. Yes. Yeah, that was 27. That's the whole thing for here, is to eventually, I want to get all of this. Oh, I must have messed something up somewhere. I don't know where that came from, but clearly it's not breaking anything. Clearly it's not breaking anything. So yeah, the idea will be to eventually get all of these into a brush, and it will like, I could be able to paint in a big random pattern to fill out the whole forest. I'm pretty happy with the progress we've made here. I don't actually know how to do the brush yet. I'll have to figure that out. Right now it's 27. I'm 27. Let's grab all of this. 8, 29, 30. Because why not? Let's make it nice and... Ooh. What happened? Was that just a visual bug? Okay, 29, 30. Okay. And now what we do is we're going to grab this. I don't know what our third type of tree should be. If I should even have a third type. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Scroll this out to 25 and it'll be good. Right? So that's 30. And that's 30. Perfect. Should we have a third type of tree? And I guess, yeah, I know exactly what to do. A few evergreens, a few spruces would probably be a good pick. So we'll do 1 more big oak tree. It's gonna need I'm gonna have to expand out some of my stuff, or we keep the 1 big oak, knowing that this is maybe I don't know if this should be like the interim, or if we should expand this, make this guy a bit bigger. Can we cheat this one actually? Let me see something. Grab you. You know what? This probably is going to look really bad when I try this out. Oh, I shouldn't be doing it in here anyways. All the trees. 300 types of trees. You're right. Just do every tree by hand. I did say I wanted to get better at building. That's clearly the only way to do it, is every tree by hand. I think you're right there. But like, we have a few different stages of like these birches. Now, granted, like these 2 are identical. They're just different colors, but I don't think it's too easy to tell that once you're looking at it. Let's see. You're my big boy. So I'm going to take this. I do see that I'm a little bit into that panel there. That's fine. I'm going to fix that in a second. Ad break. But I'm on a roll. Okay, so if I take this whole tree up here, this whole tree, am I missing anything? I don't think I am. Now I want to do a magic select. We have the solid, do up and down this time, and we're going to grab this whole thing. Operations, and I'm just going to see what happens when we scaled it up. Oh, you know what? I lied. Control X to cut, and now we can do a rotate scale, and I just want to see what happens when I double it. How bad does it look? And is it fixable? I think it's about, it's a good halfway size. And this should be kind of fixable. Like, clearly, like, all of this has to go. All of this, like, I call this artifacting. I wouldn't have a better word for it, but it's essentially what it is. But I think once cleared up, this is pretty much great. Okay. Let's see. Get rid of all of this. All branches will have to move. By block. Take just these leaf blocks here. Our noise painter, which we kind of already have set here anyways. Now come in here. I feel like I'm just going to be rebuilding this whole tree by the time it's done. I don't know how much time this actually saved. If any. So much time. Did it? I guess, like, I'm not building it from scratch, but this does look like a scaled up version of this tree. It's almost identical. And I'm gonna have to rebuild all these branches, at least a good chunk of them. You know what I can do? Now that I've done this, I have an idea. Let me run these ads. Let the ads run. I'm going to quickly run and use the restroom while that happens. I'm going to be right back, and then I have an idea for maybe continuing this. I'm back. Are ads done for you guys? Like, I know it's kind of inconsistent. I don't know if you're still stuck in the ads or not. But sometimes they last a full 3 minutes, sometimes they don't. And I'm gonna do, we're gonna grab solid, we're gonna grab the, oh. I'm gonna grab you, and drop, oh. Oh, I did it. I did it. Solid, we're gonna grab, we're gonna just turn all this into air. Great. We're gonna clear our selection because I'm fine with the general leaf shape here, this heart shape that we've got. I think we can stick with this for now. Okay. Now, all we need to do is grab our path tool. We're going to clear our selection again. Oh, thanks for the check-in. Still have to figure out how I'm going to do a reward for that. Okay, keep existing, use stairs and slabs. Use stairs and slabs right off the bat in this one. And my thought process is... My thought process is, even though this one is split, this doesn't have to be. It better be a good reward. I have an idea, but the issue is I don't know how to get the value or the variable for those check-ins. I think it's something for just Twitch, but I don't know how to call that variable yet. When I can figure that out, my idea is to have it where after so many check-ins, you can unlock something. That shouldn't be very difficult to do in StreamerBot, but that is the end goal idea that I have in mind. There is a thing that I have seen where if I do this, even if I do, let's have it lean a little bit like this. You got to finish power automate approval processing. Excellent, not a problem. I am going to keep kind of chatting to myself for a minute. Okay, do this. M. Block, grab you. Rotate, scale, flip, paste and copy, paste and select. That's not it. Operations. I don't remember what tool it was, but there was a tool out there where you could actually just twist blocks. I've seen it. I just don't remember which it is at all. If I do a rotate, it's just going to rotate. That's not the same. Unlock rotation, maybe? No, Well, that's not really it. I'm just making it look messy. Evil Dude, welcome, welcome, welcome. How you doing today? Thank you. We finished the big tree. About as finished as I can call it. I think it might, like my next tree, I'm going to try to do the leaves better. The one after that, better. What I did right now is I scaled this tree up. I ripped out all the wood, and now we're kind of just playing around to see how I can get the, I know there was a tool that allowed me to rotate, and I don't, for the life of me, remember what it is. Just got off work and chilling. I'm doing great. I'm happy to hear that you're doing well. Yeah, how's your Wednesday? What do you do for work, if you don't mind me asking? I don't remember if I've asked before. I probably won't remember next time, but it's good conversation. But yeah, I'm doing great. I can't complain at all. Just kind of looking at little shortcuts for trees and like better ways of building them. I don't think this is going to be it. I know there's a way to twist blocks. I just can't remember what it is. What is it? That's not it. Audio, video, data communications installer programmer. I plugged in my Wave XLR, so I guess I'm kind of an audio engineer as well. Not melt, not stamp, not text. Definitely not the rock tool. Not the painter. You turned on your microphone once, right? Not the weld. I'm like this close from jumping into Calvin's stream and asking him. I know this tool exists, and I wanted to use it for the tree. I just don't remember what it is. It's not a tool mask. Dang, I'm not remembering it. Where's Dino when you need the guy? Because I know he's the one who showed it to me, but it was forever ago. Oh, right. You know a lot about audio video? I know that feeling. I know that feeling very well. Huh. Welcome to Mage's community, where a bunch of nerds can feel seen, truly seen. Great. Path. divide by 1. Drop you way down here. Oh, one big type. Yeah. Where's my... There it is. No. Like that. Like that. No. That there. That one there, and then that there. There we go. A little extra thick here. So how about I think that came out pretty okay. I'm a potato. Fair enough. I think this one came out a bit okay. I think if I'm going to do anything else, we're going to grab shape. We're going to keep a super sphere, get like that. We're going to grab this again, grab this, and I'm just aiming. Reset our rotation. And all I'm aiming to do right now is kind of separate this shape from this one. Big tree is lovely, thank you. Yeah, I think it came out like, since we already had the leaves pretty much made, I think that helped out tremendously. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna just fill that in to separate out these two shapes, make it look like it's one big tree. Oh, and by doing that, I am seeing all these leaves down here need to get off this main branch. That's one of the reasons this looks so messy down here. It needs to get off this main branch. So when we were looking at our references while I was building that big one, I kind of realized that, I don't know if you guys know this, but leaves tend to grow on the branches and not on the trunk of a tree. And I have a bad habit of keeping leaves way too far down. So I'm trying to break that. Actually, no, I think that's okay. But we'll do this, and then I'm going to need to do this. And by lifting it off of these big parts of the trunk, it makes it not look as squat or as much of a big blob. It's okay if these outer ones hang a little bit lower. That makes sense for, you know, gravity exists. We can add some more just fence posts in here to give shape to some of the branches. That little pop of the stick. Got some new commands. I do have new commands. Thanks, Discord. And then something else I was playing with was using some saplings in here. Oop. Because we're going to get a lot of this on the bottom is going to end up being spruce anyways. So up in here especially, we can get that little bit of brown for the branch, but also it's going to look good once we color everything up and get the spruce in there. This is where I put the new one, so it's a little not hollow in here. We can fix that. So an easy way to get a lot of space on the inside, we're going to do our magic select. We're going to go ahead and do all of this because it's all one block. That makes it easier. And then we click on surface only, replace, and click on that. Then we can go to our noise painter. See, right now, this is just going to be oak leaves, which is what it should already be. Oak leaves. And we've got about 16% air. I think that's going to be fine. It doesn't need to be quite so big. But we do this. And we see it really just kind of opened everything up. Now, granted, we are at to fill in some of the spots. Like, sheesh. There should be leaves here. But a tree should be very airy. You should be seeing almost through the entire thing. You don't necessarily want it to be like hanging in the air with no structure at all, but yeah. Like more air blocks in your leaves, yeah. For this one, I turned on... So I have persistent leaves on in Axiom. They should stay persistent when I place them. However, I turned on tick speed and I lost a lot of leaves. It happened to work out. I got this wonderful pattern out of it, and I'm going to stick with it. But oof, that was scary. And then another thing we can do, we're going to do some trap doors down here at the bottom and some slabs and stuff. And by doing the trap doors and slabs... If I do this, it'll make it look like it comes out a little bit. By doing this, when you're coming underneath, you'll be able to like give the illusion. Kind of like you see it better over here. You can see like now that you have these branches going through. The other good thing with all these the very airy leaves, if I turn on shaders, you'll be able to see it a bit better. Because I don't want to mess with brightness right now. You have to wait 10 minutes for my shaders to load. Now you can see it definitely gets real dark down here. When we get to painting the forest, we'll probably fix that with light blocks. But look at that. That's what it's supposed to look like. I should actually probably open this up a bit more. But yeah. Granted, Shader's doing a lot of heavy lifting right now. I will need to go with some light blocks. I had to do that in here. I had the fires here. But I do have light blocks. See, 1, 2, and I think I have, yeah, some lower level ones here to help out with the fire, make them a bit brighter. But that's how I was able to add light into the Abbey. We'll probably have to do the same thing over here once we get to painting everything. We do the whole forest, because I don't want the whole forest to just be dim and dark. You should be able to see like something. But yeah. Go ahead and turn off shaders for now. Yeah, once we had a good shape for the leaves, everything kind of popped right into place with this. I'm super happy with it. Now what we do, we have our leaves. We want to go ahead, magic select, let's clear that. We'll get our add and our more than just our surface. We're going to magic select everything. My biggest tree is my favorite. Thank you. Yeah. That was the one I didn't know if I was going to be restarting. I don't know, like the second or third time I had done that. But I'm pretty happy with how that one came out. I'm already happy with this palette. We're just going to come way out here, be roughly the same way we were here. Auto shade. How's that look? Yeah, I think that's okay. And now what we do, we are going to clear this selection. We're going to turn off the horizontal and the down. Oop, we're going to turn off that. And what we can do this is a lot easier if you had, I was showing it here, like you can, oh, corners? Yeah, you can see right here where we can go around the whole thing. Oh, and I'm being goofy. Instead of just, well, no, I want just leaves here. I don't want to grab any of this. But what we can do is we just keep grabbing our leaves here at the very bottom. Noise painter, and we're going to do spruce leaves and birch. Those are our two darker leaves. Bam. Actually, before we do that, M, block. I lied. Script. We'll leave it as such. If I was smarter, I would have done turned off the selection, and I would have grabbed just the front stuff, and I would have done the spruce inside, the birch outside. But honestly, this is okay. That's okay. All we need to do is just come in and darken up some of the ones on the top to blend it to the bottom. So it's not literally just a straight line. And of course, some of the ones that we missed here. Darken up over here. Dude, something in my eye? What I do have to do is add some shape over here. Also very flat here. There. That's where I wanted that. And pretty flat right here as well. I see the new snapshot stuff in MC, all the copper goodies we're getting. I remember the copper golems coming, and I know the shelves. I've heard about that, but I haven't seen anything else. I've kind of been out of the loop with the newest stuff. What kind of copper stuff are we getting? I think that blended in pretty nice. Let's do the same in the front. Deeper stuff. We want darker. Very happy with that. Here on, no, not there. Nestled inside of the flowers there, and then the jungle sapling. I'll go on the non-flower sides. And then our spruce sapling. The copper torch burns green. Copper chains, copper lanterns, copper torches. Nice. I can't wait for somebody to mod that into 1.20.1 so I can play with it. Pretty much, backport mods have been pretty great. The only mod that I wish, and if they make create for 1.21, I'd probably transfer over to that so I can get flashback again. I don't have flashback, and that hurts. But other than that, backported mods, like getting my moss blocks and everything, super easy. So I've been very, very happy with that. Thank you, modders. Okay, I think, look at that. Teeny tiny bush, smaller, small, medium, large, big. I don't think we're going to be able to do a birch much bigger than what we have here, but we can look, we can try. Maybe. Let's see, I guess. There's no harm in trying. Let me see your bush. Awful. I love it. Oh, let me get a bit more grass over here. Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe one more large birch tree might do it, so we can get a few variants of those, and then we'll do some pine. And we'll probably kind of like that. I think that'll be it for our kind of basic forest palette, and we can see what happens when we start putting that all over the place. If it gets really repetitive, we can always just make a few more trees to place in some places, in some areas. But one of the good things using Axiom and it being Minecraft is I can really expand the size of everything. Because in Warcraft, you have the Abbey right here, and then here, let me turn that off. You have the Abbey, and then right over here, you have a little spot where you're fighting some wolves, and you have some kobolds up here. There's a mine right here, and then in the back, there's this little stream that comes down, and it almost is this size. Like, I'm not joking. You have a little stream that comes down, and a single farm field right here is the vineyard that supplies wine for the Abbey, ships it out to Goldshire and to Stormwind. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. So I want to do a proper forest. And you actually have to travel a little bit, and you'll see the wolves, and then as you get to the mine, kobolds, and maybe we'll do a little camp there, and that's what makes sense, that they're mining stuff here. This is just kind of a halfway point before going away. Now, whether or not we make, like, we add a tavern to the Abbey or something, like, I don't know yet what it'll be to make it make sense that a mine and a vineyard are here, and yet the Abbey is the only infrastructure. Like, people have to sleep, people have to poop. They need a safe place to shower. We're not going to be building bathrooms per se, but I think for the Abbey itself, when you walk in, this is pretty much what you're going to see in retail. And in Classic, there's a wall right here. And I played around adding that wall, but we're doing a post, like, retail stuff. More trees better, I agree. What there isn't, though, like, the stairs go up, and this is just a wall. And what I might do is turn this into a proper door, stairs down, and we can do an underground area where sleeping quarters would be for the monks and the paladins and everything. I think that's smart. And for the vineyard, we might add a proper farmhouse out there. And if we're gonna add a farmhouse, we might do a little settlement for the mine. Interior's looking nice. Yeah, thank you. We took a bit of a break. I haven't made the belfry. I haven't like this isn't lit up all the way. The staircase isn't lit up all the way. It's this side. You can see here it gets pretty dark when the shaders are on. Wait 10 minutes for the shaders to load. Gets pretty dark, but in here we've got the war room. This is where the paladins and the warriors do all of their planning. That's what the big table's for. I really like how I was able to get the pattern in here out of the stairs. I've been having a blast with stairs. The war room, which I think looks pretty close to our reference image. The this is limestone. Yeah, the limestone blends a lot better with shaders on than without. That really sticks out. But what am I going to do? It's the best I can do. The library I think came along the best so far. I just need to I need to do the study back here and the study down here. Just two separate study rooms. From there, this is where there's actually supposed to be a graveyard here. We'll probably expand upon that, even do like a little graver's hut. And we'll probably expand the graveyard, make that sizable to make it make sense. This side there's a stable here. And currently it's just like a small little stable. We'll probably expand it out and then like maybe like an area out here where you would normally farm, like probably like a pig area, you know, mud and dirt and stuff. A place with sheep. I think that makes sense. It would fit both Minecraft and World of Warcraft. So we'll make that into a little farm area where like that's where the priests, the paladins, the monks of the Abbey get what they need to get and take care of their horses. Yeah. And then of course in the front, you've got the entrance here, and there's all they are like a handful of carts, like 2 or 3 carts for merchants. That's where just repairing your goods and stuff. I don't know if I'll expand on that. Might still keep it as carts. Might make it into like a little campsite type deal, kind of like a gypsy camp type kind of deal. Maybe. There's a training circle here. I shouldn't have all of this memorized. I don't know why it is like something about this game that itches my brain and I just don't forget things. But yeah, we have a lot to build. Let's see if I can't do a nice big birch tree. Okay, if I do it kind of straight up like this. Use stairs and slabs. Some dead trees scattered throughout. I might, yeah. That's not a bad idea. And what we can do is just take some of the variants of this. I don't yet know. I'm gonna have to look up the tutorial. I might just do it live here on stream. I don't yet know how the paintbrush works, the brush for being able to just brush everything out. But I might take a couple variants of these trees, specifically the ones that I have branches for, and just remove all the leaves. Make sure the branches are all connected in a way that makes sense. So we might make a variant of dead trees, yeah, and just do a very, very small number of those. That makes some sense to have them, because that's natural. What I'm not going to do is like a dead tree leaning against another one. I don't think at any usable scale can you do that. That's like the big thing that has been holding back. Like that's the big puzzle to solve. Because like in a real forest, this bad boy here can get pretty close. Here, let me This is why I build everything up one, up, down. Oh no, all of that's wrong anyways. I gotta lift this up. Just dead leafless trees here and there? Yeah. Leafless, and or we can also do like change it all to pale and similar blocks. But yeah, usually in a forest, you'll get trees like pretty close to each other. But like, if this guy gets any closer, it's just going to kind of look like a big blob. It won't look as good. Like, well, I'm kind of lying there. But you know what I mean? Like trees can get pretty close to it. But once they start touching, it looks bad. It just looks bad. So yeah, I don't know. I do need to lift this whole tree up, though. Make sure I don't miss anything. A fine line of the placement? Yeah. Yeah, I remember watching the B-Dubs episode where he was building his forest, and he had talked about it was really... He just couldn't find a good way of making leaves, like trees leaning against themselves. Not at any, again, any usable skill.
Penguin 0 Verl 0 Road rated your channel with 6 viewers.
Ames, hello. How are you? How's your Wednesday? How was stream, Ames? You were doing some hardcore stuff, yeah? You went live just before I was going to, so I wasn't able to stop in and say how do you do. Welcome. You got me as I just finished big tree and medium tree for the oaks, and I'm about to start up a big birch. That's what we're doing probably the rest of this week is building trees. I think we've got some great progress, and then we're going to start some spruce ones. But yeah, how was your stream, Ames? How's your Wednesday? How's the hump day? Are you having fun this week? I'm going to get some water. I know it's a big bottle. I always lose count of how many bottles of water I drank, so I got a big bottle. So I know, like, if I clear that bottle, I'm probably good on water for the day. Your stream was good. Thank you for asking. Fun week. Got a house guest coming tomorrow. Ooh, that does sound exciting. Wait, do I have to clean my bag for your house guest? Am I expecting company in my space as well? Because we talked about this. In the lease, it says I have to have like 24 hours notice. So I can light a candle. You cleaned my bag already? So many crumbs. All you do is feed me toast. That's why. What do you expect? What do you expect? I know there's a way to do it, and I don't remember it. Dino wasn't in your stream, was he, Ames? From my air fryer burritos. There's a trick he showed me months ago, and I don't remember it, and I want to use it so bad. He went to sleep before the raid? Boo. But okay. Let's see. I think about... Nice big birch, about yay tall. Block this. There is a tool that lets you twist a selection, and I really wanted to use it, but I can't remember what the bloody thing is. I can't. Freehand draw, gradient painter. It's none of this. It's not that. Definitely not shatter or extrude. Gonna lurk? Not a problem. Thank you. And thank you again for the raid. You have a great night. I'm gonna be here for a while. I got like another... Oh, Lord. Another 3 hours of this. What if I distort? That's kind of something, but not really. Okay, distorting just does the same thing over and over again. Even with a different tool, the exact same thing, not helpful at all. Smooth, expand, filter. I don't need a view. Okay, if we're gonna do that, then how about we just start with a cylinder here? Oh, I see my problem. I have metaball on. Great, I like that. And then what if I just take this part up here? And kind of forcibly twist it on my own, right? What else I can do is do this. We're going to go ahead and reset our full rotation here. It's way down. Thanks, bot. Metaball this. Bring this way down. pass tool, Bezier, radius is 1. Up 1. I feel like this is starting to look more like an oak tree than a birch. And that's just because it's kind of... What I might need to do is take this and put it way up, and I think that'll help if I make this a lot taller. Let's see. Kind of like that. What if pretty much this point up here and there and there. This is not going to get, like, it's fine, it's a bit taller than this, but even with the leaves, it won't get much taller than that. Confirm. If we do an operations, auto shade, and instead of these leaves right here, Yeah, this is bright leaves. Do some birch wood and some strip birch and birch planks. Definitely messed that up. What about this? Nope, messed that up too. Alright, so auto shade's not gonna work for that, but that's fine because we can always just do gradient painter. Okay, gradient is always a pain in my butt. Start from the bottom, come up here. There we go. Why is my replace not working? Alright, replace tool isn't working, so I'm just gonna crit, reload, see what happens. That was weird. Oh, it's just not working in here at all. Why? Interesting, it's just the birch wood that's not replacing. Is it because that's stripped? I bet you it's because that's stripped, and if I... that's why. See? Because it's stripped. Ad break in 3 minutes. I feel like I just had an ad break. That's why. This makes sense. Okay, next shape. We want to make sure we do a leaf. Go ahead and just do our oak leaves as our base. For these, I do think a more of a conical shape helps. Keep existing, metaball. I lied, that's terrible. Let's see. You know what? I have open reference. I have a reference to some birch. Let's see. Oop. You know what I bet I can do to kind of speed that up a little bit? If I do this, that just changes the birch fence. How would this look? Boop. Whoa. If I come in here, just like delete some of that. If I do that and then come in here. Oh. What block are you? I thought you were the birch. Birch window pane. Oh. Oh, this must be one of my modded blocks. I didn't realize that wasn't, okay. I don't mind you. Let's do more of that. I just wasn't expecting, you know, shattered glass sound. Okay. And when I do our shape now, and we do this, Haha. Change you to oak leaves. Change you to air. Noise painter again. Let's see. Go ahead and this a little bit less like a bulge. Clear our selection. Let's see. Get this one off of the big branch. Oh, I'm kind of happy with the shape of this one. Pick some of the flatter areas. Yeah. I think that's all right. I think that's coming along. Grab our shape again. I'm gonna do is put that there, and then voice painter again, and much inside still. So let's move that one, that one. Okay. We keep adding a few more leaves here and there. It's starting to really come together. That was the wrong thing. I want to reduce the range. Yes, Quackpot. All should join my Discord. What do we got? Like that. I think that's the spot down here. Bring it way down. Still want to keep it real airy, so I don't want to get too deep. Go back to my line, my path tool. Do here to here. Down here to up here. To replace some of the ones down here just to kind of fill this out a little bit. Okay. As such. Select all of this. And then what I'm going to do this time is we're going to go ahead, subtract surface only, and subtract the surface. So now we have everything inside. Grab our noise painter. And we are going to do spruce, birch, and air. I feel like we did not do enough air. Gradient. You would think it'd be the noise, but it doesn't seem like that's working as much as I would like. That greatly did a lot. Alright, well I guess just kind of erasing all of that worked. Although I feel like at that point, just make it hollow. Surface only. Oh, because I'm doing subtract. So we're going to grab add again. This. Operations auto shade. Do our dark spruce. Ow, 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 ow. Our birch, oak, and our azalea. Pretty close. For a first pass, not bad. I'm going to do custom positions. One from the very tippity top. And one from like right here. Not bad. Alright, with this, now we can kind of just get started on fixing up the shaping. So like on our birch leaves right here, we just place them down. Oop. Grab that. Oh, make sure I have my updates turned off. First things first, I get you off. Gosh, I'm going to do that a lot, aren't I? Get you off the bigger part of this branch. I don't want you on it. Very least, maybe something like this. And get the immediate part off. Ooh. Kind of shaping things up a bit better. That's my core focus right now. Make sure things aren't too blobbity. Ah. How's that? How do that be? Does that look like a nice big birch tree? I don't think that's too bad, honestly. Should I do another... I don't think another branch right here. I kind of, like, a part of me wants to fill that out, but I also want to go too much. We'll sit on that and see how I feel, I guess. I don't think that's bad. Definitely looks a lot like that, so you can tell it's mine because it's one big blob. Blub, blub, blub. Especially in here where it needs to get hollowed out a bit. Okay, there's that. This is looking a little flat over here. Yeah, I'm liking that. I like that a lot. I think that's working out. Okay, let me see. Next, spruce trees. Oh, there was something I wanted to check. It was... So we do have the create mod, and with it comes a bunch of other kinds of colors of blocks that we just haven't used in our trees yet. Like, no, not the rivet stuff. That's not going to come out because the textures will look real bad and weird. But, there it is. Axiom and Scoria. So we'll have to... That's something else we could play with, though, is some different types of... So I think with the birch, like, because birch is such a unique texture, I'm kind of stuck using that. Stuck, like it's a bad thing, but it's a great texture. But for oak, is it always... I could probably lighten my oaks, and it wouldn't be that bad of an idea. I can probably brighten up the oak trees. So if we were going to do that... I mean, does that even brighten them, though? Not really. And that definitely would. Kind of like how Drip Slate does. And yeah, Drip Slate's kind of fantastic with the Create mod. Because we have Cut Drip Slate. Which, look at that. Looks amazing. It is amazing. And it's not quite as bright as just normal oak. But it's also not as dark as that. How does it look against the spruce? Like, spruce has that greenish tinge. And if we're going for like just regular spruce, it's way darker. So let's see, if I do, we'll just straight up do a solid, we're going to grab this whole tree. We'll grab this one. Yeah. And let's change our spruce wood to, what did I just say? Spruce wood. Let's change our dark oak planks to the dripstone. We'll do the cut dripstone. spruce wood can be... Dark oak stairs can be the dripstone stairs. Dark oak wood. I don't think that's it. That's a bit too repetitive. I don't know. We might also put that in our pocket for future trees. But for now, spruce, spruce, spruce. I don't actually have any reference images of spruce trees, but how hard could they be, right? Little spruce bush. See, actually. Cut scoria wall. Scoria, cut scoria. It's a different kind of brown. So let's see if this works. I won't have a trap door because it's stone, but that's cool. But go ahead and keep it like that. I don't know why I'm dumb, but give me a second. Do spruce leaves right there like this. No metaball, hollow. I want my pivot to be at the base so I can better aim what I'm doing. Let's bring our height way down for this one. Oops. Come back here, birch leaves. And I'm lucky that spruce trees really aren't that complicated. Although I still feel like that's probably a size too big for this one. So let's go ahead and move our guy to the next panel. Slot? I'm gonna move him over here. He's lined up there. He's lined up there. Confirm. Confirm. Let's see. That's pretty much it. I guess we can come in here. We can grab a dark oak trapped door. All right, little bush, which is probably, again, still a little bigger than it needs to be. Go ahead and just erase that part, and then I'm gonna grab up to here, drop down, just like that. I think that's our bush, our smaller tree, our small mid-ish sized tree. Let's do 1, 2, and 3. Oh. Can't say I hate these at all. All right, before we start on the last 3 here, and I'm gonna have to, I don't know if I'm gonna add any more to this, because I don't know how, like, I don't know what brushing is gonna be like, so we're gonna have to toy with that for a while. But let me go and use the restroom, the little duck's room, and I'm gonna go ahead and run my ad so I can do so, and I will be right back. Okie dokie. Oh, ads aren't done yet. That's a shame. Okay. What was I doing? Right. 3 new spruce trees. Trees of spruceness. Real quick, though. Helps that not be quite as flat right there. Alright, so we're gonna kind of just do what we've been doing, which is start off with these cone shapes. Let's see, what's the actual height we want this to be at? Not equal to this, so let's bring that way back down. What's gonna happen is we're gonna do about here-ish. If we do it from about here, take that to the base. We increase the height. I think that's roughly about the height of these. So we do that, and then obviously we're going to be putting this in here. So we're going to go ahead and do our smear, put our trunk in here, which we're going to fatten this up in just a moment. Give me just a moment. Now we can take our extrude. We're going to shrink that whole bottom right there. And I'd say at around... all this is going to do is just give us a shape. We're probably going to end up replacing a lot of these. I have a lot of pines behind my house. I'm kind of familiar with how these guys look. Ooh, I betcha. I do the path, and I do nope. Scoria. That's what this is called. Scoria. Really been helping me like line up the branches so everything looks good and well, not clean because it's a tree, but you know what I mean. If you've ever looked at a pine tree in your backyard, you'll probably notice like all the branches come around in these big rings and then push out from there. Oh. Yeah, Scoria for pine. That actually goated out. Look at that. I think that works. I think that works really well. And then what we need to do... I do my magic select, surface only, block. Making some space. Connect everything as it should be. Oops. What I gotta do is bring these out a bit more. Okay. Okay, there's that one. We might be redoing this one. It's a bit too symmetrical, isn't it? Let's see. Oh. Hey, Milton! I'm about to finish the trees. I'm getting there. We're definitely making some progress. What do you think of the scoria here? This block from the create mod for as a bark. Oh, all right. I can't do it like that. You like it, Plum? Well, thank you. Hi, Plum. Looks very barky. Like our dog. This. Ta-da! Looks like a wood log. Yeah. Dang, Quackbot, don't you slander poor innocent Quackbot like that. It's a little tedious, but I can't do the little trick. I can't use Tinker on modded blocks. How would that look with some cherry log mixed in? That's a good question, though. We can definitely look. I think cherry's going to be a bit more... It's pretty red. Yeah, it's a fairly bright color. Debug stick? Maybe that's kind of what the Tinker is. Oh, the stick directly on it might work. Huh, I can rotate. Cool. I can kind of use it. But now we know for next time. Now we know for the future. Just in case I need to. Okay. Now we take this, we take the wall. A bit difficult to use, you get it? Yeah. And that wasn't like too lengthy to just toggle that back and forth. Actually, before I go into this, go ahead and make that a 1. Ooh, I got real thick at the top. I can do it for walls. So at least there's that. And we can go ahead and just fill in these gaps. Talk about tedious, this is what's tedious. But hey, look, there we go. Alright, now this time, just the one. That's not quite what I'm looking to do. What about... Actually, you know something that would be helpful is if I found a block I can use that's smaller, that's just as dark, but definitely like smaller. Fences might be close. That pane might be pretty close. Let's see. About dark oak, yeah. I'm gonna see. That's not quite the same as what I had for over here, because this is the birch window pane, which is like this, but it looks like this one's still gonna have a lot of glass part of it. Ooh, you know what I could just do though is brown. Not you. You. Do this. So let's see if we do. What if I did fence post? So with the fence post, they're gonna kind of come out very similarly, where it's close but not quite there. So I was gonna see. I can get a bit thinner, but I can still use the shape here. I think that kind of works. Doesn't look bad? Probably not. But I'm just looking to get shaping whenever that's all I'm looking for, is just like shape. So I kind of want these to be almost invisible. Hmm. We did the super sphere. Okay, but I am just going to do this one by hand. Kinda. Can I clean this up enough for it to look good? Let's find out. Did I not say hollow? And it's definitely not hollow. Okay. I guess just hollow's not wanting to work on leaves right now. That's okay. I hope you guys think the sound of breaking leaves is a type of ASMR, because we're going to brew here a minute. Shrink, shrink, shrink. Okay, let's... Five, but keep it flat. Spruce leaves tend to grow on the flatter side. Not too concerned with it looking a bit too squared at the moment. Let's see if we can't paint some of that away when we add a lot of air in here. Oop. Noise. Almost. Yeah, actually, I think just adding a ton of air helped out a lot right there. And we just kind of fill in a few spots with these lighter ones, and then we'll go in and color up some as well. Whoop. Not me starting to get hungry. I might go ahead and call it at 7. It's still one of the longest streams I've done yet, but I'm kind of getting hungry, so I'm going to need to eat soonish. But by that time, I should be done with at least this tree. 7 or this tree, whichever comes first. I think I'll call it there, and then we'll come back. We'll finish this tree, and by that time, I hopefully would have remembered to look up a tutorial. I don't know why I'm doing that. There's no reason to do these birch leaves right this second. Just keep working on shape. You know, we'll go ahead and do a solid. Grab all of this. Ta-da! Easy peasy. Easy peasy. Okay. Oh. This is way too much of a block. Yeah, I think once I started concentrating leaves on the tips of the branches, which makes sense if you actually do think about it, they started coming along a lot better than they had been. I'm much happier with these shapes. sure nothing's too flat or too right angly. We don't need no right angles up in here. I don't like that. What about that? It's a bit better. Too right angly. When in doubt, remove leaves. That seems to be the trick too. Intense music for tree building. I was just thinking it's liable to give me an anxiety attack. And not that I don't love having you here. What's up? Are you just like done with your show? I think if I do this again, but around up here, and then we put the cone at the tippity top, that'll look like a proper tree. Waiting on meds to kick in? Okay, yeah, that tracks. Will look cool? I think so as well. This is that excitement you miss out on whenever you're just watching your shows and you're not watching me every day. You know, it's super high intensity. Until I become an Emberville professional streamer, I guess. I'm going to at least check it out whenever it comes out. But you might know, did Ko ever mention, was that a single player? Will there be multiplayer? Do you know, did they call that out? Almost like ASMR. That is my whole vibe. When I'm not in the middle of prog and I start like going even longer for streams, then a whole lot of that's going to be like streams you can fall asleep to. And add co-op kind of like Stardew's. Okay. Meaning it's like it's one person's world, but somebody else can log in and help out with some of the progression here and there. Is that what that means? Yeah, like satisfactory Valem. Okay, that's cool. Oh, you guys mentioned the first part of that town, he was showing only one area out of 4 or so. Oh, cool. Okay, so there's going to be a lot to do there, which I would figure that for a Ko game. I think with this one, we're actually going to just remove these parts. I'll go in with this. block, noise painter, woo.
That rain, that rain, that rain, that rain, she's coming.
Me using the angel place actually is helping out a lot. Alright, let's go back to our shape tool. A lot of little nitpicky stuff to get this right. I'm going a little over on the leaves on this one because I already know, like what we learned here, when I go to paint out the air, I might accidentally paint it way too much. Not my Cooper barking at me right now. You let them out? Well, thank you. I think that actually is starting to look a lot like a pine tree. Once we get the little cone on top, people are like, yeah, that's what it is. Okay. Not gonna lie, I wish I could like go through my workflow right now, but it's kind of just throwing random blocks out there and seeing what does and doesn't look good when I'm done. I have a rough, like, oblong, ovalish shape that I'm kind of sticking to, but that's about it. And the only reason for that is because kind of how they grow. It's pretty thin overall. They're fairly flat. The branches of a pine tree. And very, very airy. Lots of open space. It's almost more branch than leaves, but I want to make sure we have leaves to, you know, shape. The question is, can I use this as a base for the top? I don't think so. I don't think that's going to work. I don't think using a cone shape, kind of like we did over there, is going to work. It barely works here. It's still a bit too clean. I think by the time you're out of this size, it stops working. I think this looks a lot better because it looks messier. Oh! So let's go back to the path to this. Now we're just going to go straight to our glass. And this needs to be actually pretty bloody close. Nope, no, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to bring this down to there. Ooh, don't go off into Narnia, huh? Right, now we do shape, cone, just keep this. What we are going to do, we're going to do, well, first off, if I do a meta ball, kind of like this, and then, hold on, bear with, trust cross, here, horizontal, corners. Okay. I feel like I should fill in this space here too, and that's just not going to be a job I do today. But I really like the progress we've made. I was able to go 1, 2, 3, 4 pretty quick. I'm happy with this birch tree, and I'm really happy with how quickly we were able to get, like, we were able to finish the oak tree and get another one up in a pretty quick amount of time. Yeah, I'm very happy with this. I think this is working out well. I can't wait to paint everything. That's not going to be tomorrow. That's Thursday, but it will be Friday. We should be able to hopefully play around the painter. I just need to finish this. I'm not sure if I like that space in the middle. If I was going to do something like this, it'd probably be with a bigger version of this tree. This might actually become the big version. I'm not sure. That seems pretty big because when I put the cap on up here, it made everything look kind of squished. So we'll have to play around with some scales, or maybe I just leave it with that one and I don't do another big version of a spruce tree. Who knows? But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up since we got about 9 minutes. Thank you everyone who lasted this long, and I'll see you Friday. Ciao.